This is Chess 3.0, the new greatest chess update. It changes every single piece, the board, and also adds a secret feature, which adds a little bonus to every piece and a ton of new strategies to the game. So if you want to experience something new with chess, you have to watch this video. This update is absolutely awesome. So, the first thing on our list of things to update is the board. In normal chess it's 8 by 8 squares, but I think this version of chess requires some more space, and 9 by 9 should do the job. Here's how it looks like. Looks pretty good and it's definitely big enough to fit in all of our pieces, which we'll take care of in a second. But first let's mark board as done on our list. Great, as I said, now it's time for the pieces, and we'll do them one by one based on this list. From the pawn all the way to the bonus piece, the new piece completely different from all the others. Let's start with the pawn though. From now on, the pawn will be called peasant, and here's how it'll look like. It even has a little pitchfork here. It moves a little differently too. I mean, it moves the same way. It can even en passant, except that it's now called en peasant. But it can do one thing a pawn couldn't. Peasant can now capture without moving themselves using their pitchfork. I wanted pawns to feel a lot like in normal chess, so that they are the ones dictating the structure of the board, and for that reason I changed them only slightly. Let's place peasants on our chess 3.0 board. We will use this board throughout the video to see all the progress we make with this update. Now we can rate the peasant out of 10, starting with its looks and name. It's pretty simple, but I mean I like it, so it deserves at least a 5. We'll leave it at 5 out of 10. When it comes to creativity and impact on the game, it's certainly not the most creative one, but it has much of an impact on the game, and still feels very much like the original pawn, and for that it deserves 6/10 overall. By the way, this rating we just did is something we'll do every piece from now, and at the end we'll choose the best piece. You can also throw your own ratings of every piece in the comments. Alright, I think we're done creating peasant. The next piece is the knight, which turned out to be absolutely hilarious. You'll see in a second. So I decided to turn the knight into a donkey. I also tried drawing it, and this is what I drew. Yeah, I have to say, I'm not very proud of this drawing. That's why we're gonna use this one from Shrek instead. Here's the black version. It looks quite bizarre on the board. What the hell? Now let's talk about its movement. It can move 2 squares in a plus sign, but it's 2 squares specifically, so it can't move 1 square at a time. It also jumps above other pieces. Right now it isn't really powerful, but don't worry, our feature can make it way more powerful. But that's for later, as now we gotta rate this donkey. Our donkey, even though very handsome, he isn't all that powerful unfortunately. 3 out of 10 on the powerfulness scale. He doesn't have a massive impact on the game too, but we'll give him 7 out of 10 overall, as he's getting extra points for the handsomeness and goofiness. We have 2 out of 7 pieces done. Now we can move on to the bishop. The cheetah, as we should now call him, is a lot more powerful than the pieces we've covered so far. He's worth 5 points, which is no wonder, as this is where he can move. That a lot of squares. It's basically a combination of bishop and a camel. When it comes to the rating, I think I'm gonna go with 7 out of 10 again, as it's pretty powerful, but it's less funny than donkey. Okay, let's get the rook done now. The rook normally looks like a castle, so its name is castle now. Its icon is also not in the best shape, so I changed it to this. It's just a castle but bigger and better than this one. When it comes to the movement, it moves diagonally and horizontally, but not vertically, so it's a little weaker than the queen, and that's why it's also worth less, 6 points to be exact. Nice, we're more than halfway done with our pieces. We only have the queen, the king, and the bonus piece left. Let's get it done. I decided to make the new version of queen a bit weaker, because the last time it was way too overpowered. New queen's name is princess, since princesses are a rank under queens. Princess can move similarly to the queen, except that it's up to 4 squares, no more. The rating for this piece is 5 out of 10, and here's why. It isn't really all that creative, and it's less powerful than its original version. That's a shame. Other than that, it's not bad, so it's a 5. In chess 3.0 the king will be a bit better than in normal chess though. Its name is emperor in our update, as emperor is higher rank than king. Here's its drawing. Looks pretty good, and this is his movement. It's like a star sign. Valued at infinity, as it can get checkmated and you lose the game.
Checkmate, we won.
Oh shit.
Let's place everything on the board. We made a lot of progress here. But now it's time for the bonus piece, which works completely different from all the others. Definitely an infinite rating. It's worth the exact amount of points of the previously moved opponent's piece. This is because it also moves like it. This is how the piece looks like, and it's named the jester. So if your opponent just moved the donkey, the jester moves like a donkey too. Same happens with any other piece. It's a cool addition. I thought it would really give a great taste to chess 3.0. Wow, it took a while, but finally we have all the pieces done. Let's take them off of our to-do list. Right now would be a good time to place top 3 pieces on podium, but we can't do that because of the new feature. You'll know why in a second. So the last step to our update becoming reality is the quest and evolution system, and here's how it works. Basically, every piece has a few quests, and when a certain quest is done, it'll evolve to a different piece, or get a certain ability. And the first quest for the peasant is to just be in the center. It then evolves to a center peasant, and center peasant moves exactly like normal peasant, plus it can capture forwards. This was peasant's first quest, now it's time for the second one, which makes peasant something a lot more powerful. You might have predicted it, but the second quest is to perform an end peasant. When you do that, peasant turns into a giga peasant. Giga peasant is very powerful, which is reasonable, as performing end peasant requires extreme IQ. This is how he moves. Besides those two, peasant obviously promotes to any piece that is, or was, on the board when he reaches the end rank. Alright, so we got the peasant done. Now it's time for the donkey. Remember when I said the donkey is weak now, but it'll be stronger once we talk about the feature? This is exactly this moment, as it can become a giraffe. It only has to take 2 pieces and there you have it. Giraffe moves in an L shape, which is 2 by 3 squares, and it's beautiful. It's worth going for it. Now donkey's second quest won't actually make it evolve into anything, because some quests will give the pieces some abilities. In this case, this ability is earthquake. When donkey jumps over 3 pieces, it gets the earthquake, and for the following moves when you move this donkey, you can choose to use said earthquake. This ability destroys pieces around an A+ sign, though this works only on light pieces worth under 5 points. Great, now let's see what the cheetah has to offer. First of all, if it lands on the same square 3 times, it gets the ability to jump above 1 piece. Of course, you can use this ability whenever you want, and also you can repeat the whole process however many times you want in one game. That was the first one, 2 more to go, one of them being to take opponent's cheetah, which turns your cheetah into a tiger. This is how tiger looks like, and I have to say, it's pretty cute. It moves exactly like cheetah, plus it can capture like a rook. Yes, tiger is quite strong, but it's nothing compared to the lion, which can not only capture like a rook, but also move like it casually. I wanted lion to be more of an endgame piece, because it's rather a powerful one, so in order to turn into a lion, cheetah must cross the entire board like this. Let's do the castle now. Castle's first quest is to just take something vertically. When that happens, castle turns into a bigger version of itself, the fortress. Fortress is actually a lot more powerful than all the pieces we talked about so far. This is because it moves like shown here, literally like a combination of 4 rooks placed 1 square diagonally from the fortress. Yeah, this is definitely the most overpowered piece up to this point. But there's something better than the fortress, and it's the massive fortress. Who would have thought? Massive fortress moves almost the same as the normal one, but it also moves diagonally, just like a bishop. You can get a massive fortress by simply checking enemy king 15 times with your castle, or fortress. That's a lot, I know, but you get a great prize for that too. That'll be all for castle and its quests. Now we can go on to the princess, which can evolve to its older version, the queen, if it moves 7 times in total. That's a doable task, and you can finally move freely like a queen. There's also a quest only for the queen specifically, so if you're a princess you can't do it. It literally works like a tree of achievements or something. This is the beauty of this feature, it's that you can just create as many quests as you want and expand the tree of evolution as far as you want, and during the game you can slowly get better and better pieces. And speaking of better pieces, the queen can turn into empress by just taking 4 pieces. And empress is super powerful. Here's what it can do. It moves just like a queen, but it has 2 more abilities, one of them being to literally bounce up the walls of the board, like this. And the second one is to go through those walls. I mean, the empress will go through a wall, and come out on the other side. This works only on the sides though, but still, it's really powerful. I haven't thought of anything more for the princess. But you can suggest something in the comments. The Emperor has only one quest, and it's to stand next to a fortress. Then he turns into a double king from Chess 2.0, which you should definitely check out when this video is over. Let's mark the new secret feature is done on our to-do list. And also this is my final rating for the pieces. These three have the most unique mechanics, that's why I like them the most. That being said, I think the creation of Chess 3.0 is over. I haven't done any quests for the Jester, and that's so you guys can do it in the comments. Goodbye.